Can you see the corn back here? Like if I go like this, like, can you like see that or not really? No, I don't know.
Much better than
I wouldn't say that. Hey everybody, this is Ryan Harter, technical agronomist with Sound Agriculture, and today we're coming at you from Madison, Wisconsin with another episode of Sound Advice. And today we're going to talk about strategies to maximize and elongate the grain fill period. So grain fill is important because that's where we get a lot of our yield from these modern day hybrids. And so when we think about corn and making yield in the yield formula, we have four main components when it comes to actually maximizing yield. So we start with planting population, which is harvestable ears, and we take that and multiply it times the rows around, then multiply it by the number of kernels long and divide it by a seed weight. And so over the past 50 years, we've been able to increase corn yields in two major ways. So that's by increasing plant populations and also by elongation of the grain fill period, which has allowed us to really take corn yields to the next level. How often have we seen a 16 by 35 ear? I mean, that's what we were looking at in the 90s, and that's what we're still looking at a lot now. So we're not really getting more kernels per acre, we're just getting more seed weight from that grain fill. Super important to note that also every extra day that we're in this grain fill period, we can add 1.3 bushels per day. So for example, if we have 5 more days of the grain fill period, that equates to about 6.5 more bushels in your pocket at the end of the day. And so, typically we used to look at 35, 40, 45 day grain fill periods as really good. And now then with the hybrids we're getting today, we want to be at 50, 55, even 60 plus to really make sure that we're hitting and cranking out the yields that we want to see. So going through the grain fill period, we have a few different challenges that we face and that we need to be able to control those different management levers to maximize and elongate that grain fill period. And so we'll start with ethylene production. Ethylene is a plant hormone that's produced, and what it does is it makes the plant age quicker, resulting in quicker senescence and maturing of the plant. And so if we're trying to elongate that grain fill period and keep the plant alive as much as possible, if we have increased rates of ethylene production, we're being very counterintuitive what we're trying to do there. And so there's a few different ways we can really manage that production of ethylene. And so using a premium branded fungicide such as a Veltima, Moravis Neo, any of those better, more expensive type of fungicides that we have available to us these days are going to result in a lower ethylene production. And so we're going to make that plant live as long as possible by really slowing down that death hormone in the plant. Next, we have mitochondrial respiration, which goes kind of along the same measures as ethylene production, except for when we look at this mitochondrial respiration, that's the process in which plants convert sugars into energy. And so if we have really high temperatures and excessive respiration during nights with increased temperatures at nightfall, that plant's really going to be burning through a lot of energy, respirating. And so the only way to really combat that is once again be using those higher quality fungicides. While diseases certainly have an impact on the crop, there's also a lot more benefits to using a fungicide than just controlling diseases. And it goes back to mitochondrial respiration and being able to slow that and control the plant's breathing more or less a lot better, and make sure that when we're applying those fungicides that we're getting more bang for our buck than just disease pressure. We're lowering mitochondrial respiration and also lowering the ethylene production in the plant. And when making these really expensive fungicide applications that a lot of us are starting to make these days, it's important to remember that timing of that application is absolutely key. So when we're chasing disease, it's important to note that fungicides are always preventative, not a curative. So if you're seeing the disease in the plant, it's almost too late by the time we can hit it with a fungicide because that disease is progressing. Most diseases have a latent period of 2 weeks, even some up to three weeks to 4 weeks. So it's a long time before we actually see the symptomology on the leaves and the lesions from when that plant's actually infected it. So let's say we see a lesion down here on the 4th leaf up from the plant. Well, it might actually be up to the ear leaf by the time we actually get in there to make that application. And so that's a big problem if we're truly just waiting for diseases to show up before we make that application. And so a lot of times I'm recommending fungicide applications be made at VT or just before VT. That way, before that plant goes through the reproductive stages and goes through that huge change in the plant, it's able to get that fungicide taken into the leaf tissues and start fighting any foliar diseases as well as any stalk rots that could be potentially happening in the near future. So thanks for tuning in for another episode of Sound Advice. Remember that to elongate the grain fill period and put the most bushels in your bins, we need to reduce ethylene production, reduce mitochondrial respiration, and make sure we're making timely fungicide applications to help control disease and also increase plant health. If you have any more questions, please reach out, and thanks for joining us today.